Well, the Warriors just lost to the Toronto Raptors 145-127 the day after Jimmy Butler went down with the torn ACL. And I just want us to hit a pause button on the panic. I don't think this was a loss because of Jimmy Butler not being there. I think the Warriors would have lost this game regardless if Butler was there or not. There were some positive things that came out. There were some concerning things that came out of that game. Steph Curry and Draymond Green back to back. This was a schedule loss. They didn't quite have it tonight. Steph Curry was getting guarded like teams are going to guard them from here on out. But getting to a slow start, I mean, they did not come prepared for this game. It's actually a little bit disappointing. I know it was a back-to-back, but it sort of drives me crazy that these are the games that Draymond Green and Steph Curry need to lead by example, to say, look, our second best player just went out. Our best player just got injured. We're still here. We still have a chance, but they seem to be the most affected emotionally, energy-wise than the rest of the team. Jonathan Kuminga got into the game. He played some solid minutes. You can't have too high of expectations for him not playing in games for the last couple months. I thought him coming off of the DMPs for last month, I thought he played fantastic. I think this is a really interesting situation. I mean, Dunleavy before the game saying that just because you demand a trade doesn't mean there's demand out there for you. And then Kuminga comes and plays, and maybe this was a bit of a showcase, or what are the chances that this helps heal the relationship? I think the relationship is beyond repair. I think that Kuminga's time is most likely done in Golden State, but maybe he can help you win some games between now and the trade deadline. Maybe you can increase his value between now and the trade deadline. The players seem to respond well to him being on the court. He put in solid minutes. He was a plus. There was a player out there that looked way out of the depths. Plus minus wise, he was decent, but couldn't post. Really, really struggled on the defensive end. You could just see the way the Toronto Raptors were attacking him, and he just isn't able to move laterally at the speed in which Toronto was playing. And this is sort of the Golden State Warriors, this is sort of their downfall. This type of team, a long, young, athletic team that can just run. And man, the Golden State Warriors announcers were driving me crazy talking about the Toronto Raptors hitting three-pointers. They're NBA players. They're going to hit wide open three-pointers. Like, all of their shots were not contested. They were getting the biggest openings to make their shots. Like, there's not a lick of defense that was played in that game. That wasn't luck. That wasn't just them getting on a little hot streak. No, that was the Warriors not rotating fast enough, being late to the rotations, and possibly just being tired after a back-to-back. So, of course, I mean, this is a reoccurring theme with the Golden State Warriors announcers. Like, sometimes I just want to watch it on mute. They're always talking about how good the other team is shooting it from three. Yeah, you're not defending them. Of course, they're going to be shooting it good from three when you're deciding to double a player and then not having the support that's necessary when the ball is swung away. Like, you know that when you double, that the player is going to give up the ball and that where the ideal shot will be. But they're just leaving it wide open. So, Warriors announcers, please stop it with the teams only make three-pointers against the Warriors. Like, you're the common denominator. The Warriors are sort of doing that to themselves. But I don't want this to be a doom and gloom conversation around the Warriors. I want to talk about, is this actually salvageable? Like, can they move forward? They only have like 2 games in the next week, so they got some rest days where they can actually practice and install some things now that Jimmy Butler isn't there. Like, they're going to have to recreate their lineups. They're going to have to recreate some of their plays, the pace that they play at. Jimmy Butler would go ISO quite a bit. Maybe that won't be happening. Or maybe Kuminga tries to take some of that role, get him in the game a little bit more. Don't make him have to play inside of an offense like they're asking him to, but say, hey, I want you, Kuminga, to play a little bit of that Jimmy Butler role. I want you to go ISO. We want to draw double teams. I want you to go to the line. Like, let's see what Kuminga can do. Let's see if he can help spark the bench. Melton, like, does Melton come into the starting lineup? I don't know if bringing Pods into the starting lineup was the right move. I thought that Melton should have. Now, I'm guessing Kerr was thinking, I don't want to mess too much with that Melton second lineup, but all things have to be on the table. You have to have a realistic outlook where we are. And yeah, Jimmy Butler, he wasn't scoring, he wasn't a 25 point a game player, but he was slowing the game down. He was being the glue, and he was just making the right plays to get his teammates in the best scoring positions. So I think the Warriors forced it a little bit tonight against against the Toronto Raptors. You could see that they just wanted to go one-on-one and say, I can fill this void. I can fill the gap that Jimmy Butler left, but they just aren't able to do it. They have to play team basketball. It's going to be really interesting moving forward. I mean, I just have so much on my mind about what does this mean for the future of the franchise? What does this mean for the future of Steph Curry? But I know what this does mean. This means that Curry and Green, they need to step up. They can't show defeat. If they want any chance this season to make the playoffs, they have to be the ones leading by example. They have to be pulling the young ones along, and they have to have this like insatiable confidence that nothing is going to rattle them. They need to lead by example. Steve Kerr, he's going to have to sort of go into his coaching bag. They were 12-4 before this Jimmy Butler injury. I had just done a podcast, just done a video the night before saying the Warriors have turned this thing around. Like, things are looking optimistic. And now I don't want to throw the whole season away. I don't think they should look at throwing the whole season away. You just have to pivot. It's time to pivot. And yes, I know, like, this team, they weren't fantastic before Jimmy Butler got here, but they've been playing some intense, high energy, high IQ basketball over the last month or so. And yeah, you've lost Jimmy Butler, but that doesn't mean that we stop trying to win games. Doesn't mean we throw in the towel. What does throwing in the towel do? Does Jimmy Butler come back next year? Like, are you really prepared to waste Steph Curry's final few years? No, you don't. You've got to do everything you can to try and win this year. And for all of those people saying that this is Steve Kerr's last year, I don't buy that. I don't think this will be his last year. I don't think Curry wants to have another coach, another system, a new system. I think they're going to go out together. So if I'm the Warriors, I hold on. Who are you going to replace him with? I think Steve Kerr is a phenomenal coach. I think he does the best with what he has, and he has a system, he has a formula that he knows the type of players that he wants, and he wants those players to do their job. Like Bill Belichick would always say, you just got to do your job, do what is asked of you at a high level. If you want to make a lot of money in the NBA, which obviously these players do, you just need to thrive in your role. Don't play outside of yourself. Don't do something that is not asked of you. Like, just be a star in your role. Players get paid so much money for just being amazing at what they do. I mean, you think of different players like Michael Porter Jr. when he was in, maybe that's not the best example, but anyhow, they just have to do these role players just don't play outside of yourself. Just do your job. And I think that will give you the most opportunities to succeed. So we're getting obviously closer to the trade deadline. We're getting closer to the All-Star break. I think if the Warriors are above 500 by the All-Star break, they'll be super happy. I still don't think teams are going to want to see them. I mean, do they make a move? Is Kuminga still, like, what sort of trade is out there that they can go after? I do think you should trade some of your draft picks. Now, Dunleavy said today that they're not prepared to trade away draft picks that are post Steph Curry era because they want to continue to be able to develop and build when Steph Curry is gone. So you're looking at the next couple of years of draft picks that are available. Jaren Jackson Jr., could you get Trey Murphy? Are you willing to use a couple first round draft picks over the next couple of years paired with Jonathan Kuminga? You could add Buddy Hield. You could add these different players that haven't really been performing, haven't been producing, but it's really the draft picks that are valuable. So is that an option? Is Zion available? I mean, there's so many conversations that could be had about what is going to happen with the Golden State Warriors. But I'm a diehard Warriors fan. I'm a delusional Warriors fan. I am fully aware of this, and I am just not prepared to see this team die. I started watching the NBA because of this team, and I've been in love with the NBA because of this team. And I would love just to see them continue to play meaningful basketball. Like, just get into the dance, get into the playoffs. Let's see, once you're in, let's see what happens. But I think all of the fans would agree, like, all we want to see is for them to play in April. Obviously, May would be great. June, that would be fantastic, but we're not kidding ourselves. So, would love to hear from you in the comments. Like, where do the Warriors go from here? What's their next move? I don't want to panic. I don't want to say the season's over. Like, that's the narrative around every single podcast, every single national media show, talking head show. It's that this season is done for. I'm not prepared to say that. I think anytime you have Steph Curry on your team, that you have a chance, to make something happen. And that third player, who is the third player, right? Steph Curry, Draymond Green in that starting lineup. There's got to be that third guy. Like, that's the most pivotal. And then you've got two other players that are glue guys, but you need that third guy that's going to be making the shots. Steph Curry is going to be getting the gravity. Draymond Green is going to be making the play. He's going to be making the extra pass. Who is the third guy that's going to be getting that open shot from Draymond Green's pass? When you've got the pick and roll, or when you got a pin down screen and Steph Curry comes off and he's double teamed and he passes it to Draymond Green as he's diving to the bucket, and then Draymond Green kicks it out to a wide open corner three, and Moody's been making some of those shots, but I don't really trust that Moody will do that when the pressure is on. He sort of has like 5-game streaks and then 20-game slumps. 5-game streak, 20-game slump. It's just not consistent enough. They need somebody that is more consistent, that doesn't shy away in big moments, that can help steer the ship, that can help just get us to the playoffs. So again, this is just a quick little conversation, but I don't want us to all be doom and gloom. I think that this game against the Raptors, the outcome would have been what it was no matter what. It's a back-to-back. In fact, I don't think that if Jimmy Butler didn't get hurt, I don't think Steph Curry even plays tonight. I don't think he would have played tonight. I think it would have been a rout regardless. The Warriors just don't match up against the Toronto Raptors. So yeah, where are you at with the Warriors season? Are you still intrigued? Do you think they should go all in for now? Do you think they trade Curry? Do you think they throw in the towel and just say it's time to reboot this thing? And if you're not doing that, then the option is you go all in for right now. Like, if you're not trading him, if you're not willing to give him up, or if he's not willing to leave, what are we doing? Like, are you going to do whatever you can to field a great team? Because he's still a top 10 player in the NBA. He is a starter in the All-Star team. You don't just come by these guys. Like, you're not going to draft another Curry. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. So holding on to these draft picks, like, why not trade them to a known commodity? Why not trade an unknown commodity for somebody that you know can help you right now? I don't know how many trades are out there, but I am all for just giving this one last chance, giving this one last shot. There's just this feeling that I get when I watch Steph Curry. Like, it's a feeling that you don't get watching any other team. And that's what it's about being a fan, right? You're loyal. Doesn't matter if you go through a slump, if you're on the mountaintops or the valleys, like, you stick with your teams. That's what being an NBA or a sports fan is all about. But I've been a sports fan, whether it's NFL, NHL, NBA, like, my whole life. there is just something different when you watch the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry. Like, you just can't help but root for this guy. You can't help but want to see him succeed. You can't help but holding on to the nostalgia of the good old days. And I know those are far beyond us, but I would just love to see this thing keep going. So let me know, what do you think the Warriors should do? Do you think that they will go at least above 500 for the rest of the year? Or do you think they are a play-in or miss the play-in team? This is the Cochrane Show, and let's continue to track this story with the Golden State Warriors. Again, Warriors lose 145 to 127 to the Toronto Raptors. They didn't stand a chance, but hopefully we can turn this thing around.